taking over, that's a promise, not a threat.
Uppercut, season off top, you stop breathing.
Yeah, what's good, yo? Welcome to another episode of Real Talk, where as always, if shit's real, we talk about it. I'm your host for tonight, Pat Scorpion, New England representative, and as always, I got my man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Hey, what it do, man? Shutterworth the guy, aka the Go Artist, LD, Lada Del Boss, El Capitan, the Ring Gang, Radio.com in the building. Yes, sir. Let's go. Yes, sir. Tonight's episode is sponsored by Renner Spoons. So, you know, we got a new opening on Federal Highway down here. Just bring your soup, salad, whatever food you just got for you that day, and you just show up and fill out the form, and you can choose whatever spoon you want to eat your food with. So we got all types of spoons, my nigga. So just come through.
That's what it is, man. And I got my other man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Hey, yo, what's good? You already know who this is. Your boy King P, Bodega Boxer in the building. Ring Gang Radio all day. Let's go.
Yes, sir. King P, Bodega P. So, Bodega P, who's banned from the Bodega this week?
No person in particular, but we are banning wrestling from the Bodega until further notice. If you want to fight in the Bodega or outside, or even outside the facility, be a man and fight with fists. We not clotheslining motherfuckers. We not rolling around on the floor like homosexuals. Fight like a man.
Shout out to Bob Arum on that one.
Man, fuck all that, man. Need to ban motherfucking Great Value Jeff Horns and Great Value Victor Postals. Banning wrestling. Need to ban referees that can't control rough ass fights. So let's get into this, man. Fuck this shit, man. You know what? Let's switch it up. What's the fucking poll results? That's what I want to talk about.
Yeah, we got Pilot has an introduction himself, my nigga. Damn.
Oh shit! Hey, my bad, Pilot. I'm sorry. I mean, the next nigga to introduce himself.
It's your boy Conscious Pilot. I'm here representing Ring Gang Radio, ready for WrestleMania when I won the Royal Rumble with the spoon in my hand. Let's get it.
This nigga. Yo, fuck it, yo. We get into Montana Love and this nigga Stevie Spark with his fucking WWE wrestling name. Jump into the poll. That's what I want to talk about real quick when we start this shit. We gonna switch this motherfucker up.
P. So, what are our poll results from the poll from the other day? You know, did Montana Love deserve this loss or not?
Oh, that's a good question. You know what I'm saying? Ring Gang, we had a question and we needed the answer from the people, and we got it from the people. And it's simple. Was the Montana Love, did he deserve the DQ against Stevie Spark? Yes or no? We got 67 votes so far, and 70% said yes, he deserved the DQ against Stevie Spark. So,
yeah.
Boo.
Yeah, I mean, technically,
the
he
man was losing.
Technically, he didn't. He was trying to find a way out. I feel, but
yeah, no, I did too. Like, I mean, you can't. Like, let's put it this way, because this nigga was boogieing. Like, this nigga had the little marching band. This nigga was out here, doing his little two-step and shit like that. This nigga was feeling himself. Nigga,
but he was getting his ass whooped for it. Look, I feel like we was cheated out of a conclusive ending. Look, that fight should have ended on the cut. Once the ref stepped in and he's talking all this shit and he was getting his Devin Alexander on,
yeah, then
they should have, and he would have lost to me right then. He would have lost right there because I felt like the fight was maybe 4-2 or 3 apiece at the most, but with the not.
It was 4-2, I think, right? Probably first Spark.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And even if you had it 3 apiece, Spark still wins with the knockdown. So Montana Love was gonna lose anyway, or he was losing. He was still making a fight out of it in the fight.
Right.
But I just feel like that fight was so fucking rough. Steve Spark got away with so much shit, and the ref just really made no big deal about it. And as soon as when Montana reacts, in the wrong way, even though he had momentum and it was a tangled up thing, Spark landing on his feet, he didn't hurt himself. If you already let the fight continue from that nasty ass cut, why not let it continue from this bullshit? Instead, the ref is like, oh my God, no. Kermit Sintown flashbacks and whatever the fucking fuckery flashbacks he had is in his head. He goes ahead and he just DQs a nigga. And I'm just like, oh my God, like bro, like just deduct the point, man. Let him get his L like naturally. Like, don't speed this shit up.
But I say this way, like this one wasn't intentional foul. Like this one was intentional as a motherfucker. After this, like they are DQ.
So you don't think Jeff Horn Jr. was fighting with intentional fouls? That's all he was like, dude was all he was doing was being a more athletic, talented Jeff Horn. He was up here throwing combinations, leading off his head, and yeah, was Love fighting the best strategy? No.
Hell no. You can't be like this nigga was like, first of all, he was moving, but then he kept on touching his back kept on touching the ropes.
Whenever he was in the middle of the ring, he was beating dude ass. He was piecing them up, but he wouldn't stand his ground enough.
Yeah, because the power was effective, and that's how that knockout too. Because and Sparks that knockout was swift too, because dude caught him with like that right hand was so swift, like I almost missed it because
that was real smooth.
It wasn't just the power, like the dude was waiting in front of him. He was doing what Zerto was doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Montana tried to find a way out because he's at his hometown. He's trying to have that cool image. He don't want to get knocked out in his home, or get stopped in his own.
Talking
hometown.
about I can't see, yada yada. Like
the cut was nasty, but I felt he was trying to find his way. But the thing is, if they would have stopped the fight then, I would have had no problem with it. The cut was nasty.
The cut was bad, yeah. And he would have lost.
I think it was because they'd have to score that actual round, and he was getting his ass beat in that round. So that's what I think. And the doctor called that nigga's bluff too, because he was like, because he tried to do that, I can't see though, but the doctor was wild, letting him continue after hearing that. Like the doctor was wilding hard.
He didn't know hometown cooking. What the fuck? He did his hometown. He didn't get
hometown cooking backfire.
He didn't get no love.
That was the funny thing, because any ring doctor would say if you can't see that, the ring doctor will wave that shit off. Like the ref would wave that shit off. Like. I don't know, but this nigga just like
this dude was on some like you could go one more round, one more minute, or like
yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
wasn't the scores a majority draw? Like, if this fight were to stop though at the time, or would it?
Yeah, no, but they didn't score the 6th round because they would have to score the 6th round, which would have given Spark the win probably.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So he got you though, basically, yeah. At the end, I mean, it'll show his zero's gone in a crazy ass way.
Thank you, Android. Shout out to Android. He see exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Dude is Jeff Horn on fucking speed or something.
I mean, honestly, he punches clearer than Jeff Horn. Jeff Horn was just a mauling motherfucker.
That's why I said he's better. Like he's more athletic than
he's a better boxer. He got better footwork.
He's a better boxer. He's a better version. Like the only thing Jeff Horn has on him is naturally bigger.
Yeah,
he only
might be more physically stronger.
He only got knocked out. He got knocked out by Tim Zhu.
Dude.
I mean, he got knocked out. He moved up to 154 and that's one of his losses by KO is only by Tim Zhu. So 14 pounds, of his natural weight, I guess, right? So even though he looked pretty big,
at least the Aussie got taken out by another Aussie. So. Now we got to deal with another Aussie, so we can't get rid of these motherfuckers.
I know Spark fight better than damn Cambosis. I know that.
I'm not saying much.
You can tell Spark wanted that shit. Like Spark was, because he said that was his first time he actually had a real training camp. Like that dude was feeling it. Like Montana Love couldn't do anything with this dude. Like then he panicked. Like he didn't know what to do. He was
Love was outboxing dude whenever he just got off first, and he was piecing him with them straight lefts. It just for some reason Love gets into these damn mental lapses. He gets into this damn Zab, and wasn't Zab at the fight? Like
he sure was.
Hilarious.
Yeah, then fucking there you go with the Zab shit. Damn. like you're so much talented over somebody where at least Zab will try to blast you out the first couple rounds. So I give Zab that.
Yeah,
like Zab actually makes himself bored if he can't do nothing with you immediately. Love, for some reason, he gets in there and he already establishes he's more talented than you. But then for some reason, he just gets bored immediately because he'll whack you a couple times. He's not like Zab will whack you and try to like fuck you up and get you out of love, or just kind of measure you and like, okay, right hook land. All right, pop shot left lands. Okay. All right, now what to do next? Like, yeah, he gets into these lulls, and Spark was kind of timing the lulls like he was like, okay.
Yeah, he let his hands go every single time that he let,
and with precision.
And the worst thing too is this nigga Love would touch the ropes, and he was letting Spark tee off on him. I'm like, yo, you cannot get ate like that, bro. Like you cannot take punishment like that. Like, and he thought he wasn't slipping nothing. That, you know, they were like, oh, yeah, Love slipped. No, Love was getting cracked with those shots.
I think it's established Love might have a, you know, quote unquote, let's say it's glass chin, but
no, he got a glass mind. It's the focus.
Glass mind, yes, that's
dude. Because look, remember, he did it because I was mentioning. Shout out to Lukey Boxing, last night, Lukey, because I was on his show last night. I was bringing up the fact that like Love, he gets into these lulls in every fight. He did that with Baranchek.
He got cracked by Baranchek and he got dropped the fight after that. So I'm just saying, you know, maybe mental.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's a chin thing because you wouldn't know if it's a chin thing if he just stayed on offense or he just had a steady offense and he didn't just mental lapse, because when he's on and offensively, ain't too much you could do with him. Like just like what's his name? Angry Fist.
Gary Antoine Russell.
Yeah, when he's in his groove and he's punching at you, head, body, head, ain't too much shit you could do. You try to back up, parry some shots, maybe disrupt him with your jab move, but you ain't gonna just be in his wheelhouse unless you want your ass whooped.
Right. Yeah.
I'm just not fully sold on Montana. I don't think he was ever a top 10 140 guy, and
nah, he was top 10, just bottom half. Like the Baranchek win, that was huge.
Let's put it this way. I think the Baranchek win is more on Baranchek probably being really.
Yeah, no, I was never.
Dude, I feel you. But look, I won. Like I bet the fucking knockout for Love. Like he was the underdog in that Baranchek fight by a good amount. Like that fight was like a 50. Like as hardcore boxing fans, us gentlemen, we know that fight was truly a 50-50 fight.
But it wasn't on the odds yet.
But the odds makers really had Love as an underdog, but we know better. But even then, we got to go by the odds.
Yeah,
he performed all those shit, but he still showed that fucking flaw of his.
Yeah. I mean, the Baranchek fight, because obviously Baranchek was coming off a hellacious war, and dude's punch resistance is pretty much like near finished, if not finished.
Well, it's finished.
Yeah.
He still hung around to like what 6 or 7 rounds,
somewhere around there. Yeah.
Still cracked the Love. Like that's what I said. If Love ain't have a chin, like a decent chin, Baranchek would have probably
would have found
or at least dropped him.
Yeah, I don't know. I never saw Hitchens before, but based off, I think he probably would have beat Montana Love's ass. You know, if that fight was made next, which is not going to happen. But I'm just saying.
And that's the thing that's gonna fuck it up, because I mean we all know Montana Love is basically the Devin Haney substitute, because Eddie was obviously Eddie is always trying to penetrate the U.S. market, try to find his American fighter. And then Devin Haney obviously is temporarily indisposed of with Top Rank, so it's like he has to wait for him to come back. So it's like, I gotta pop off I gotta have another fighter. And Montana Love was definitely treated like a big thing. And it's funny too, because on Twitter you can tell his fellow fighters he doesn't get a lot of respect from his fellow fighters.
Yep, exactly. Gervonta called him the B word and all that shit.
Yeah, like a lot of niggas like this nigga was like overrated as hell. Like I was like, geez, I didn't even know it was even like that. Like,
damn, I think he's rated right where he's at. It's like he's in a loaded division. There's a shitload of fighters that we have above him. Like, I don't think like he was always before this fight and after the Baranchuk fight, he was always in my eyes anywhere between number 8 and 12 in the division.
That's fair. Okay, 8-12 is good.
yeah,
Anywhere between there, and I don't think that's no big overrating of him or whatnot. Like fucking 140 stacked.
yeah,
It's
no,
just
absolutely.
he need to be more dominant for his talent, and I agree with Android. He does come off like one of those guys who he wants his natural ability to take over in these fights, and
That's how he basically sounds like Broner in a way.
Kind of like Broner, but Broner's
But see, the thing is, it's gotten so bad. We're underrating Broner now because Broner didn't start having these problems until he was well on being a 2-division champion.
Well, actually, 3 division.
Three division.
Yeah, it basically started after the Maidana fight. After the Maidana fight, Broner's.
I mean, you still had his skeptics and his critics, with certain flaws he had, but yeah, you in a sense you're right. But these guys, they not even getting one title before they're having these damn hiccups and.
Mm-hmm.
Because honestly, I think Love punch for punch, like power, like one punch power. I think he hits harder than Haney.
No, he absolutely does.
Yeah, for sure.
Like he hits hard, and speed, the quickness is about the same. I think he might be phically I don't know. Like he looks bigger, but I don't think he's physically stronger than Haney.
I think Haney is bigger. Yeah. I think Haney's just.
Haney's defense compared to his night and day. Like.
Yeah,
a way better defense for Haney. Yeah, I mean,
and just stronger. Like Haney knows how to clinch up and wrap up and survive.
Got like a way better IQ, way better defense than Montana. To be honest,
Yeah, like Love has the tools, but my thing is the ring generalship. Like you need to stay off the ropes. Like why you on the ropes? Like you Canelo in the 3rd round against Bivol. Like you can't have this crazy ass, Nelly, Corey Spinks ass, Roy Jones ass opening,
right?
And
let a nigga that has 14 knockouts and 15 wins tee off on you, and
acting like he's some type of Rubik's cube to figure out. Look, like dude, Spark is tailor made for someone with Love's talent. If it be honest, because back in the day, a guy like Spark. These guys like Hearn, Jeff Horn, these guys who are kind of basic, but they're strong and they could punch and they could box a little bit.
Right.
But if you're the quicker guy with the flashy hand speed and the good defense and the solid skills and the great footwork, those dudes are supposed to be food for you. You just can't sleep on them. That's it.
Yeah, and that's the reason why Eddie probably brought him over there with that, and then DAZN went to Australia. So I was like, hey, I'm gonna bring this fight up. Montana Love was supposed to look good. This was supposed to be a showcase fight.
A homecoming fight. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But instead,
a homecoming fight with some spice to it, like Spark. Like I said, Spark gonna keep you honest. Like you can't sleep on him, and I just feel like Love didn't treat dude like he was somebody he could sleep on. Like,
yeah, no, he was talking to Hitchens more. It seemed like they're building up the Hitchens shit more than Spark. They're looking,
and at least now, Hitchens at least Hitchens got his stoppage, and Hitchens is not even a knockout fighter like that. So there's
he made that guy quit. He made that guy quit on the stool.
Yeah, he may do quick because he made him bleed around the eyes and shit like that.
That dude's good. That dude's not he's not a jobber. He's pretty good.
No, Hitchens is not. Yeah.
No, I'm talking about Alamo.
Oh yeah, no, it was. Yeah, but Hitchens, I was like, okay, Hitchens, like at least you understand. You understood the assignment. So it's like, yeah, I signed with Eddie. I'm trying to get this fight. So yeah, let me
put Africa in there with Spark. Now do that.
Yeah, now they have to. It's because Montana Love can't just go. Montana Love has to run that shit back. Either that or they make Spark versus Hitchens, which I would like. But
I don't even mind that. But win, lose or draw, even if that fight happens, Love has to fight Spark again. Like
he does.
Like he has to. like that's almost like I thought about it the other day. Like it made me think about it. I was reading the best side faced on Ring magazine, Ring TV, and they had Adonis Stevenson and like how he was basically begging to fight Darnell Boone again.
Yeah, cause
and it's like, dude, like your career is like looking good. Like you already overcome, losing this dude. Why you need to fight him again? Like, nah, certain shit you just gotta prove to yourself, man. And like y'all said, like this is a little showcase fight with some spice on it. Like it was a winnable fight for Love, and he laid an egg. Like, and it's just not a good ending. I know they could do all the protesting and shit they want. I'm actually in a disagreement with the way the fight ended and everything. But at the end of the day, like he still took the loss, even if it's turned into something else. You were still losing up to that point. So I'm gonna look at it as you was losing, and you need to just run that back. That cut looked nasty. Heal the cut up, and just focus on getting that run back with Spark, man. I don't know if I would let them bullshit you into going into Australia to do it though.
Who probably Eddie will probably do it. It's like, hey, look, and I can't sell you, I can't sell this fight in America. Like the Australians, they love this dude, so like, yeah, I owe him a fight. We gotta run that shit back there.
I can see that,
dude. If they treated him like this in his hometown, imagine going to fucking Kangaroo Jack. Nah, nigga, nah. We gonna have to fight in a neutral place in America. Fuck that.
It'll be a co-main somewhere, or
Yeah, thank you. Like, fuck all
but
that.
I mean, the way that card was, even with the fuckery Royal Rumble finish, that was probably that's probably Eddie's best American card of the year to me.
That card was entertaining from top to bottom. Like this shit was dope. It just sucked up. That Royal Rumble shit. That shit was just fucking. I couldn't believe I was watching this nigga getting dumped out of the ring like that. Like I was like, God.
Honestly, that shit is like overrated. Like I seen so many niggas fly out over the ring. And it's like the crazy part to me is he landed on his feet and it was like no problem. That's why I'm just like, keep that motherfucking going. Like. I mean, me personally,
he cut the landing perfectly. That shit was.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
that was 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 landing. Like to me, honestly, you don't waste a moment like that to not have a fight continue.
He could have sold it like when somebody gets hit on the ground and plays possum like they're dead.
Yeah, he could have did all that acting. He could have fell. He could have not catch. Cause look, the way he fell, it was slow. And it was like a slow, deliberate, like he could control it because you could see how they was on the rope. Like his hand was there, so he just flipped over.
He could have thrown his back on the apron, and he could have thrown his back on the apron. He could have gotten whiplash from
the way they were so pressed up on those ropes.
Yeah, or he could have blown out his knee, even landing. Like there's a lot of things that should have went wrong.
His knee, his back, his head, his whole shit anything could have got.
Yeah, wrong. His whole shit could have been all.
But that's the size of point. Like it could have happened, but it didn't.
Right, and I put respect because this nigga's like he landed on his feet, then he walked his ass back in the ring up them stairs and was like, okay, let's do this.
And I just have to. I have to reward gangster shit like that. Like,
that shit was hard. Like that was
hard. Like that's some shit. Like okay, you gotta let this nigga knock him out for real. Like don't just DQ him now. Like don't let him get the DQ when like let him knock out Love like how he was like on his way to trying or at least getting it done. And
I always put respect on any nigga that gets sent out of the ring by legal means, and then gets his ass back in the ring by the 20 count. I always give him an applaud because that shit was hard. Like like you take a spill to the fucking concrete floor. You've already taken plenty of punches to the head, and you still find a way to get your ass back in the ring, ready to fight. That's hard. Like so, you gotta respect that.
All I know is like a Jack Reese wouldn't let that fight get all that crazy like that. That's the reason you need is fights like that is why a Jack Reese exists. Like,
that ref was pretty annoying for most of the fight, to be honest.
He was. Oh my god, thank you. I just waited for someone to fucking point that like the motherfucker couldn't control that type of fight. Like for all the Jack Reese trying to be more important than the fight shit people could give him, and he rightfully so. I'm not saying it's not earned sometimes, but he's the perfect guy for this type of fight where, you know, after all these fucking forearm spark what it did and all the bullshit Love Holden was like, he would have just straightened both those motherfuckers out on some like, look, goddamn it, like, motherfucker, let's box. Like,
I don't even know about that because even like recently, Jack Reese hasn't even been reliable.
Yeah, he has been kind of incompetent lately.
I'm saying, but see, those were different types of fights. I'm talking about this particular fight. Like, what's the last rough fight recently that he did that you was like, God damn, we need somebody to take control of this fight?
I mean, there was that fight that this nigga was threatening away take points and niggas weren't even doing nothing. Like,
but that's the whole point. Niggas weren't doing nothing. It sparked love. Motherfuckers was doing so much. Of course, he would be all over that. That's my whole point. Like, Reese is to the point where Reese fell off to the point where you can't put him in a fight where it's ebb and flow and the boxers could do their own thing and you don't need to police them. You need to put him in a fight where you're just like, okay, we got Ricky Hatton in one corner, we got John Ruiz in one corner, we got Galata in one corner, we got this nigga in this corner. Like, you put him in certain fights where you know dudes is gonna be rough, you know dudes is gonna bend the rules, you know dudes is gonna spam certain illegal shit. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't put him in a fight where you're like, let me see, Margarito and Mayorga. No, you don't put him in that type of fight. He'll fuck that fight up.
yeah.
Like, nah, nigga, you put him in a fight with, okay, Mayorga and let me see, what's a crude motherfucker for that weight?
For what, 154?
Yeah.
K9.
Yes. Goddamn. See, my nigga, see, thank you. That's what you do. If K9's one of those opponents in the opposite corner, Jack Reese. That's all I'm saying. You can't put him in a fight where a fight where it's too good. Where you don't put him in a way Fulton fight. There's gonna be too much clean professional boxing in that shit. He'll get bored and make it about himself.
I'm just taking a look at some of the comments we have, you know.
Yeah. Shout outs to the comments.
Yeah, El Pendejo Shango. I used to see Broner camps all the time in Colorado. And shout out to Joshua O. He said, Love should have finished Baranchuk within the first 4 rights, but he likes to showboat and admire his work too much, which was a thing.
Facts. Didn't I say that earlier? Like, that fight wasn't even supposed to go that long.
Yeah. And I think Android, you know, came with some anime shit with his comment. You know, so it's like, like that. Like, I mean, that fight. Like, the funny thing is, like, yeah, that fight was just it got the attention of ESPN's running.
Shout out to Henny God. My bad.
Yeah, you know, like the fight they would have to do, but it's just bad because Montana Love is just like Montana Love is supposed to be the the face
future star.
Yeah, definitely with the Michael Jackson fit.
Yeah. He had the dope intro, like the marching band and all that shit. Like, when you have like dudes, like, it almost makes me think that a lot of these niggas, these young dudes, this era, they're more focused on the entrance,
the image on entrance,
in the image than the actual performance. Like niggas is more caught up in the ad libs than having a fire 16. Like it's always it's the unnecessary shit and not like what you're supposed to, the main thing. Like, Love got all the points for everything else but the fucking fight itself.
Right.
And that's the problem. Like, dude, like, you're right there on the cusp. Like you can't be doing all this rapping, singing, and acting and shit, and having the dog be a tag team partner and all this shit. When Roy, like, y'all gotta remember, because y'all niggas quick to bring up Floyd on the whole, like, y'all niggas don't look at the money side of the career and not the pretty boy Floyd. Well, y'all niggas be looking at Roy Jones entrances, but not the ass whooping he gave in the fight. Like, like, y'all see this nigga rapping, you know, into the ring, and, you know, forgetting that he done threw like 17 uppercuts on a nigga and shit, and dominated a motherfucker who wasn't, you know, supposed to go the distance with him or make make rounds. So
these boys going out like Corey Spinks when Nelly walked him out.
yeah, like and at least Corey Spinks going out the Zab though.
Yeah,
y'all not even getting a fucking welterweight undisputed rematch.
Yeah, exactly.
Like y'all gotta like niggas keep comparing y'all to Broner and it's disrespecting Broner because y'all not becoming fucking 4-time division champs and shit. And his era wasn't even that long ago. Like
right.
like that it's just ridiculous, man. Like to be better, man. And Joey Spark, like good performance, just all that rough shit, man. Like,
yeah, that was a whole, that was something else, man. And yeah, definitely, and like Pilot said, man, it was a good card. And shout out to Ray Ford,
that KO was crazy.
Yeah, keep in mind Lucas. Yeah, keep in mind Lucas was the cat that he had a draw with King Tug earlier this year on PBC. And and he arguably could have won that fight, but then Ford knocks him the fuck out with a right hook. Like that shit was nice. And then Tapia versus Matisse was a fucking slugfest. Like like hard slugfest. That was that shit. Like that was dope. Like I said. So I mean, Eddie put together. It's always the little minor cards that Eddie does well. Like when he has like the random Mexican cards,
little Mexican cards, yeah.
Yeah,
what's real quick? The PS Mattis fight was one of the top 15 fights I saw this year. Did a chick fight open it or a woman?
Yeah,
fight?
the chick fight. Yeah, Beatriz Ferreira. Watch out for her. Like she's gonna be a problem.
Oh yeah, she.
That Brazilian, that Brazilian chick, she's gonna be a real problem in at 130. Like
that was her debut. Yeah, but I'm saying the fight after that, Mattis versus.
That's what I said. Mattis Tapia. Yeah,
that's what he's talking about.
That's what he's talking about.
Yeah, that was a great ass fight.
That was a great fucking fight. Yeah, that was an absolute.
Damn, I gotta go back and watch that then.
Yeah,
it's good like that.
Yeah, like they were throwing bombs at each other for for all the 10 rounds. Like they would, and that was a minor upset too. So like, that fight was tough. So yeah, Eddie did a good job though, but unfortunately his new star fighter got on the short end of the fuckery stick.
Eddie's fucked up because he could have been doing he could have really been making events where he had Andre as a champ fighting over here, and it's like.
Yeah,
and it's just one more thing about these damn fights at the Zone. Like y'all ruined the fucking big atmosphere for these fights when y'all had these goddamn ads during the in between round segments. Like, dude, we want to be immersed in the fight. We want to hear what the corner's saying. We want to hear preview highlights, see all that shit. Like, we don't want to see a little box and a big ass AutoZone commercial or the fucking 4-wheeler off-roading and shit. Like, that shit just sucks the energy out the fight. Like, oh my god. Like, if y'all need to do commercials or advertise something, like, yo, I'm just putting y'all on the game right now. Run a banner or something like the ESPN shit and just run it at the bottom throughout the round. I mean, the in-between segment. So people could just see what you're advertising and still watch the TV and hear the commentary, the words in the corner. Like,
yeah,
we don't need the
corner talk. We got like barely any corner talk for that fight. Huh?
That's what I'm saying. It's like they take you out of the fight. Like come on, like niggas is paying hard-earned money for an app and like y'all got sponsors. I get it, but dude, like dial it back some. Like, y'all already do pay-per-view. At what point do y'all stop?
Right. That shit was dumb. Like, that shit is stupid dumb.
Yes, it's just tacky too. This fucking janky promotions. AutoZone, get into the zone.
God, I know.
Like, I can't.
Oh my god.
I can't get into the zone because of AutoZone, nigga. Like,
yo.
But at least two backup Americans, showed out and did their. Even though they were booing the shit out of Hitchens, he did a good job.
Yeah, and the fact is, they don't do that on the international cards. They don't have all those fucking commercials and shit, nigga. Like, that's true. That's real.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, dude, like that's why I low-key be getting offended sometimes the way Hearn promotes in America. Like, it's always on some condescending, like, here you go type shit. Shut up. Like, here's your fucking crusty camp imitation gruel. Like, like, here you go. Like, no, motherfucker. Like, if you have a big fight, you're like making an event out of it. Like, do the promo, have the interviews, do this, do that, have the right music, have right this, that. Like, it's always on some like bullshit, and there's always bullshit reasoning. Like, he be afraid to fucking have the guns blazing over here in America now. So now he just put on little bullshit guerrilla warfare cards, and hopefully they have, and hopefully they produce fades.
Right. You know,
that shit just annoying. God damn.
You know,
like, he got enough people to make them stars here, but it's like dude made Alicia Baumgartner a star in the UK. Like, you couldn't tell me you can't have her fighting over here now. Like,
hey, there's a reason Eddie hasn't been able to get a, in 3-4 years find his American, his American black star fighter yet. He's still looking for it.
Well, I mean, he had it with Haney, but Haney is now.
He did okay with Haney. Like, Haney maintained. You know what I'm saying? Like, Haney didn't.
That's the only thing he could do. He's Cox Records.
Yeah.
He can only make. Look, dude. Look, if you got a decent type of little fan base, and you got some skills, you sign the Cox record, and you have control over your career, and you'll be steady, and you'll be busy. You get to drop your music, and no one's gonna damn bother you type shit. Same thing with Eddie. Like, Tevin Farmer did it, Andre did it, making $500K for title defenses in career mode. Like, hey, like, that's easy money, good. Fight 3-4 times a year, shit. Hey, stack it up, get your money. But their careers didn't get bigger because of it. It just worked out more financially, and the whole, steady fights type shit. It kept their name out there.
And like Andrew said, he lucked out with Baumgartner. And yeah, Baumgartner is, because like I said, Baumgartner was brought in to job, and and instead, Harper couldn't take her power. So it was like, bam.
He lucked out, but that's the thing. Eddie be acting like he don't luck out. Like, he be like, he fake ass Don King. Like, he be acting like he knew all along. Like, no, you didn't, nigga.
Like, only in the UK. That type of shit. Like,
And then that's facts with the Mayor Baumgartner fight. The machine was ESPN Sky. Like, Eddie don't have a game plan for the US, man.
Basically,
he don't.
Yeah, he runs because because pretty much a lot, even like the fighters that he signed originally, like none of them are there anymore. Andre was like the last man.
I remember Tevin Farmer was at the workhorse on the zone when they launched. Like, he was on every other card
because he realized what a deal he was getting. Look, I get steady fights and get shown. I don't have to take a real serious fight.
I'm about to take a belt. I'm gonna get a belt 130.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he got his belt off the zone. That's the thing, though. I think
Yeah.
And he defended it and lost that motherfucker on the zone.
Yeah, he got a draw. That's what else the zone. He got a draw before he won the belt for a title.
Yeah, no, he lost, but then the Asian cat tested positive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was it.
But with Farmer though, Farmer actually completed his contract. And then was able, and he was free to do, but he kind of fucked up his career, and then he did a one-off.
Take the Tank fight.
Yeah.
He should have cashed out on the Tank fight for sure.
Yeah, he fucked up and he went to Florida where our brother LB lived. When LB saw him take his L and all types of shit, and his career pretty much.
Now him and that Mickey Bay thing.
Nobody to blame for him. Nobody to blame other than himself, though. So.
Yeah.
Yep, that's how the cookie crumbles.